Hello, okay, let's get started on this Black Series review video of Boba Fett. Now this is the Boba Fett from Empire Strikes Back, the Kenner carded version, re-released recently. It's the same body as the archive, so nothing new there, although new packaging. I don't have the packaging because I am an out-of-box collector, because I use my Black Series figures for photography. So because I use them for photography, I rip the packaging to pieces and they go in sorters so that I can get them out as and when I need them for different shots. So what would you get in the box if you had kept it? You get a blaster rifle, which is multi-toned. So let's just take that out of his hand here. So the blaster rifle, black, white and brown with some silver detailing on the stock. It does have a bit of a bend to it to make it fit in his arm, but it's quite a bendy blaster rifle, so you can just bend that back into position. It sort of goes straight again, which is okay. You've got a blaster pistol, has a little holster here. Pop that out. That's it. Okay, and then that's two-toned brown and silver. Very good paint applications, no bleeding really on mine, which is very nice. Then you do have a removable jetpack. It is just like the Snowtrooper backpacks, just like the Rebel ones, all that sort of thing. Just a single peg joint, does pop back in nicely, doesn't spin around unless you really get in there and do it, so it's good because it doesn't mean that you can move it. It does mean you can move him around and it's not going to come out. So moving on to the paint applications on Boba Fett himself. So as you can see, very beautifully done. It's an amazing looking figure. I really like the paint chipping effects they've done with the silver weathering all over. You can see the helmet. Looks really good. The Beskar chest plate and all the Beskar pieces of armour. And that goes all the way around. I mean, they've even added it to the jetpack, which is fantastic. Really nice. So the paint applications on this one specifically are very good, but I think this figure in general has a very, very comprehensive paint application. Very detailed, like you can even see here on the Whistling Bird. The detailing of the paints on the panels there, just fantastic. Moving on to the articulation. So Boba Fett does have good toe point, if you can see there in focus. Nice toe point, good ankle pivot all the way around. Much like the Jedi figures, they have like really good ankle pivots. It means that when you're putting them in these dynamic wide leg poses, you aren't getting the toes pointing up like that. You can actually get him flat, which is nice. Moving up to the knee, double joints, which is nice. Some of the older figures are single jointed mostly, you know, double jointed in the knees at times, but on these newer figures we're seeing a lot more use of butterfly joints, double jointed knees, arms, that sort of thing, wherever applicable. Obviously when it's covered by cloth or armour, that's a lot easier to hide those joints, so that's good. At the hips, unfortunately these ammo pouches do hinder his ability to come forward. You could use some heat, bend them up a little bit, but he really is going to struggle to get his leg up. He can go backwards pretty well, and he can go almost to a split to the side, but like I say, he is going to struggle to get his knees up there. He does have a pivot on the thighs, so that means that you can again really get his feet level, which is good. At the hips, a little bit of a hip rotation, not much. He can't really crunch, can't lean too much. Not too bad. Obviously because of the ammo pouches you aren't going to be able to change that unless you pop the torso off and remove that, but I just don't think it would look very good. Obviously then you would lose the blaster pistol holster as well. Moving on to the arms, so wrists 360, very good. Does have a good pivot at the wrist. Elbows as well, 360. Decent articulation there. The gauntlet does get stuck, so he can't really do a bicep bend, you know, all the way up. There's no double joint in there, just single. At the shoulder, again, 360. Decent range of motion on that, but if I really force him up, that's as high as he'll get. You'll get him into a T pose at the arms and the shoulders, but that's as high as you're going to get him. He will go backwards, forwards, you know, up, down, but you are going to struggle to get that to rotate unless you're up like this. Doesn't look too bad, although obviously this emblem would be upside down. Moving on to the head. Now this is probably the most impressive bit of articulation on Boba Fett. So if I get him in focus, so if you can see, there's no head sculpt in there, it's just a ball joint, ball and socket joint there. It means that he can 360, which is nice. He has a very good chin to chest, meaning he can look down pretty well. He's got quite a good look up, tilt him back, tilt to the side a little bit, and like I said, he will twist pretty much wherever you need him to look, which is again very good. Okay, right, moving on to versatility for photography, and the significance of Boba Fett. I mean, Boba Fett is a very significant character in the Star Wars universe. He's mentioned in a lot of lore. He features in the original trilogy, of course, in the Clone Wars and the prequels as a child. Most recently, he is back in the Mandalorian TV series, which is, you know, just fantastic. I love the way they brought him back there. I thought it was a perfect way to reintroduce him to the screen. The scene of him fetching his armor from the Razor Crest and coming back and just owning the stormtroopers is my favourite scene of that. That's just fantastic. Obviously, the Book of Boba Fett is coming next, so looking forward to that very much. So in terms of versatility, I definitely think that Boba Fett is something worth having in the collection. For me personally, I think that he's got brilliant presence, but also he's so versatile. I mean, you know, you could throw him on so many different dioramas, like this Nova kind of spaceship look, or the starship look. Then you could have him in Tatooine, you could have him in a forest planet like Endor, you could have him all sorts. I mean, it's really endless. I mean, he's a bounty hunter. He's gonna be in all, you know, all corners of the universe. So finally, if I was to give him a score, I think I'm going to give Boba Fett an 8 out of 10. The versatility is up there. He's, you know, he's so good to have because you can put him in so many different scenes. He's a very significant character. Definitely a great looking figure. Articulation is pretty good. It's not fantastic like some of the newer figures have that little bit of an upgrade on articulation, but he's pretty good. He's definitely going to be viable. And obviously, I mean, there's different Boba Fett's out there. There's the Deluxe Return of the Jedi that's coming out soon. I've got that on pre-order, so I will be reviewing that. So obviously, maybe that one might be a slight upgrade, but again, the body is different. There's a different build, different accessories, different paint scheme. So we'll have a look and we'll compare them at the time. But in terms of having a Boba Fett, I think this is an easy win for a pickup. And yeah, 8 out of 10. Very impressed. Awesome.